Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Idun Alurin and I'm a 4th year medical student studying at the University of the West Indies in Kingston, Jamaica. If this is your first time here on my channel, I just want to say welcome and thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that by the end of this video you would consider hitting that subscribe button so you could become a part of my growing family here on YouTube. Since you're new here, I just want to quickly say that my goal for this channel is to create a safe space for medical students, prospective medical students, and anyone really to come and see themselves through my journey. I just want to be transparent, and my hope is that my transparency allows viewers like yourself to realize that you don't have to be perfect to be successful in medicine. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips to get you through this rejection season. I'm sorry if you just got some rejection letters from medical schools. I've been through it. I got rejected from 10 medical schools. If you watch part 1 where I explained how that happened, then you know. But if you haven't seen it, definitely click the link in the description box to take you to part 1 of that video. But without further ado, let's get started. So my very first tip for you guys is to broaden your application range. This is actually what I did. And what I mean by that is within the exact same application cycle, that is, if you're still wanting to get into medical school for the same time as you wanted to before you got rejected, what you can do is apply to more schools within that same application cycle. But my advice to you is to broaden that range. So if you could look at your pool of schools that you apply to, just find the things that they have in common and just apply to schools that are different from those schools. So I said to myself, I'm applying to all of these schools that are so similar to each other. They're probably looking for something similar in a student, and I clearly don't got it because they didn't decide to accept me. So I don't have something that they're looking for, and I need to apply to schools that are looking for kids like me. So what my schools had in common, obviously, if you watch part 1, all of my schools were US medical schools, and I am from the Bahamas, and I am still currently and probably will always be a Bahamian citizen. Now, I don't know what these schools were looking for. I'm not saying that they weren't looking for international students at all, but they definitely weren't looking for me. So I thought to myself, okay, let me just apply to schools that are dangerously different from this group of schools that I applied to. So I decided to apply to schools that were outside of the US. So I applied to 2 more schools. I applied to St. George's University in Grenada. It's a very popular American offshore school. I got in there, and we could talk about that in another video, girl, but long story short, I wasn't trying to pay all that money just to go to Grenada. You understand? No. No. Then I applied to UE, and spoiler alert, I go to UE. UE is short for the University of the West Indies. And UE or St. George's weren't my top picks, but at the end of the day, I got into those schools, and I now currently attend one of those schools, and I am now currently a 4th year medical student, which means in the blink of an eye, I'll be a doctor. And I say that to say, don't be ashamed that you only got into your last resort choice. At least you got into that. You get what I'm saying? So I had to jump over a few personal hurdles and hang-ups that I had about coming out here. But at the end of the day, guess what? Time flies, and you will still be a doctor at the end of it all. And if you still want to practice in the States after coming to the Caribbean, that is an option as well, and I'll do a video on what that process looks like. Now, if you've tried all the medical schools that you can think of, or you can't wrap your head around leaving your home country to go practice medicine somewhere else, or anything like that, you feel like you've just ran out of options when it comes to medical schools, my second tip is to try different types of schools. I know you don't want to be anything else but MD. Guess what? I'm gonna be dead real with you. When we're all in that hospital, whether you MD, DO, PA, whatever, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z, we all look the same, we all wear white. And if your goal is to really provide patient care, I wanna stand on the edge of the bridge and tell you, it shouldn't matter. Don't push me off the bridge now, I just suggesting a thing. I worked alongside doctors of osteopathic medicine, physician's assistants, nurse practitioners, I mean, you name it. And guess what? They were all very competent. They all played special and important roles with regards to patient care. So at the end of the day, don't kill me, but if patient care is your main concern, you can live with going to another type of school besides an MD school. You feel me? I mean, it's just an idea. Now, if you are still bent on MD only, you only want to do MD or MBBS, you don't want to be DO, PA, PT, ABC, you don't want to be any of that, you only want to do MD. My third tip for you is to just apply again. So you can actually apply in the next application cycle to your same set of schools or to a similar set of schools just by tweaking your application a little bit. If you could figure out a way to find out what was wrong with your application the first time, that's awesome. You can just go back and kind of improve on those areas. I don't mean just go, redoing your headshot. I don't mean that, okay? I mean really go in and try to change some things up. For instance, if you feel your MCAT score could be stronger, go back, take some time to study for your MCAT again, resit it, and score higher. You will score higher. It's your second time around, so why not give it a try? I promise you'll score higher and your application is gonna look better. If you're going to medical school in other regions where MCAT is not a thing, resit maybe your other entrance exams like CAPE and O-levels and all those fabulous things that y'all do in other regions, if that's possible. You can also take time to do all the little things that medical schools like to see on your application, like volunteer work and shadowing physicians. But if you're anything like me, I need to get a bag. I didn't want to just go walk around the hospital following you around without making some money. So I was a medical scribe for a couple of months following graduation. I worked at Physicist Scribes. I'll link their website below if you're interested, but there are a number of medical scribe companies that employ you to work at different hospitals, and basically what you do is follow doctors around all day and write up charts. It's actually a really good learning experience and it looks good on your application, trust me. Don't worry, these companies don't care that you don't have any experience. In fact, I think they love that. They love hiring young pre-med students because they know we don't mind working for $8 an hour for 12 hours because we need the experience and we need to show schools that we're interested in medicine. My final and I think my best tip, hear me out, is to take time off and actually do nothing. When I say nothing, I don't mean just lay out, don't think of med ever again. I mean just keep the medicine vibes to a minimum. And why I say that is because being rejected from medical school can actually be a traumatic experience, and I really want you to heal after going through something like that if you put your all into it. And so being left with a decision like that and not knowing what to do after, it can be a lot. So I actually want you to just take some time and chill a bit, rehabilitate yourself. But other than that, medicine is a very consuming career option. Medical school is very consuming. When, and I do mean when, you get into medical school, there's no telling when you will have time again to spend some time with yourself. So use this opportunity to spend some time with yourself, explore your other options if there are any. You never know, you might find something that you rather do even more than medicine. On the journey toward becoming a physician, you don't have any time to explore your interests or hobbies or tap into things that you would really like to do. Listen, don't be like me and my classmates where we look back and realize that we didn't take any time to develop any other skill or develop any other talent besides knowing how to read an EKG. if we even know how to do that properly. So just heed my advice, take some time, explore your options, love yourself, relax yourself. You will never get this time back because you will get into medical school and you will be extremely busy. If you got this far in this video, especially if you watched both videos, then that means you really like me. So you know you have to hit that subscribe button and of course hit that notification bell so you can be notified each and every single time I post. I upload videos each and every week. I really want to grow this channel into a community for people like us. So if you know anyone who might need to hear what I just said, please share this video. Don't forget to like this video and comment down below if you have any tips for anyone else who might be going through this exact thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye.